Thank you so much, Caitlin. Thanks for the invite and the very generous introduction. Let me just jump in and share with you a presentation that I have. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to jump right into the presentation that I have for you on LinkedIn intro guide. This is meant to be a very general and broad intro to LinkedIn and why you guys should care about it, what is the relevance on LinkedIn, and how you can maximize your LinkedIn presence. So it's kind of basic stuff. Hopefully I will be able to convey to you a few key messages, and after this presentation, we can do a Q&A session, as Caitlin said. This is what we're going to cover in this session. A bit about my profile and SRA connection, then your profile in LinkedIn, obviously, how we can best network or use LinkedIn to network, and finally some job searching. At the end, as we said, there will be some Q&A session. In terms of my profile and my SRA connection, it's funny, I use this sentence that I appreciate so much actually in my LinkedIn profile. You know, that Charles Darwin said some years ago, right? That the ones who survive are not the strongest or the most intelligent, but they're the most adaptable to change. And if you think about it, maybe right now you don't realize because, you know, you have not been around for that long, let's face it, which is good for you guys. But once you've been in this world for a few years, you will realize that it's all about change, and it's all about how you embrace change in your professional career. Right now, you are aware of the latest technologies, of the latest things in your phone, in your mobile device, online, you know, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, right? This will come and go. New technologies, new tools will come, and new trends and new economic cycles will come and they will go, but you will stay. So I wanted to use that sentence to introduce myself, because my professional background is just a change, a constant change. I started being a lawyer, then I moved into being an entrepreneur and launched my own company. Actually, a few of them with few successes and few failures, like anyone else. And then I've also been an executive in large corporations. And finally, I am now an investor in early stage startups or early stage companies. And for those of you who are curious, we can talk about startups later on after the presentation. And then geographically, I've also changed a lot. I've moved plenty in my life, from La Coruña, which is a small city in a corner of Spain, to Madrid, which is the capital of the country, to London in the UK, still in Europe, and finally to San Francisco, where I've been for the last 10 years. My connection to SRA could not be any better. You probably all know Lisa Kossiver. She's an outstanding person and professional. And guess what? She happens to be my landlord. So I could not be any luckier. I've been in this house since I landed in San Francisco almost 10 years ago. And as you all guys know, SRA and Lisa go hand in hand. All right, so talking about LinkedIn, general introduction, what LinkedIn is, and just some hardcore data. Nowadays, everybody loves data, right? So LinkedIn is by far the largest professional network and job market, not only in this area or in this country, but in the whole world, right? To give you some metrics, it has over 600 million members. It has over 50,000 skills, 30 million companies, go and figure, 20 million open jobs, and 84,000 schools are in LinkedIn, according to their statistics. Now, jumping right into your profile. So you're in LinkedIn. you realize that LinkedIn is the place to be as a professional, which is status that you will be soon reaching. So how do I go about building my own profile in LinkedIn? The first thing and of key relevance is your picture. Nowadays, with all the phones that we have, incredible cameras, incredible technology, is not that difficult to get a clear face headshot. Try to show your face above all. You want to have a nice and welcoming expression, but not be in a too social or casual environment, all right? And you want the picture to be about yourself. Try to avoid enlarging a picture of a group in which your headshot is very small and can hardly be seen or not clearly be seen. It's also important to have a clear background that highlights the color of your skin and highlights your expression. That is very important too. In terms of the professional title, include there your position, and just be honest with yourself. You guys are about to finish college, which is fine. You don't need to include any kind of fancy positions, but you can include certainly on top of the position your professional skills, or what are you guys interested in, or what are the topics that you guys have been studying in your career. And again, not a lot, just a few, 2, 3 will be more than enough, right? In terms of contact, I would encourage you guys to include your email. The cell phone is optional, and I don't include it. I'm not very supportive of giving too much information in social networks, but it's totally optional, right? And then you have the websites and social media channels that you guys may be active on. Go ahead and include them, whether they're Twitter or whether they are Snapchat, you name it, right? In terms of connections, try to work a little bit in your connections at the beginning, and we'll see how is the best way to do that. And have a few. You don't need the typical kind of more in my environment, 500 plus connections, which is the maximum that LinkedIn shows. It's okay if you only have a few dozens. That is more than fine. Now, a small tip here that I wanted to share with you. In LinkedIn, you can personalize your URL, okay? And to do that, let me give you an example. Let's see if we can go to the website, and where you see here in contact info, hopefully you're all seeing this, in your contact info under your profile LinkedIn, that is where you can include linkedin.com/in/your name and surname, and that's what you all should do. If you don't personalize your LinkedIn profile, it's going to have a weird code which is not going to look very nice. Okay, so that is the tip for your profile. All right, so moving along. Now, under your profile, you will have your description, the profile description. And this is a mix of you thinking about a person reading your profile and you thinking about a machine going through your profile. There is something called ATS, which are softwares that track profiles in LinkedIn and online. Excuse me. They're called applicants tracking systems or application tracking systems. And those softwares, what they pretty much do is they scan for predefined words. If you include those predefined words in your profile, you're going to be highlighted, and the machine that is tracking profiles is going to pick you up. Okay, so don't be shy about repeating the keywords that you want to emphasize about your profile. Include your skills, your interests, and your passions, right? And probably here, as you can see in this profile, these are random examples of people that I'm connected to in LinkedIn and that have a pretty good LinkedIn profile. You can see in the last paragraph of this slide where it says specialties, this person has included a number of keywords. It's always good to do that. At the end of your profile description, leave the last paragraph to include keywords about your skills, things that you are an expert or that you're working on being an expert on. All right, now we go into the experience. And in the experience, the first thing that you will see is that the company logos are very, very relevant. Images get to the reader much more than words, right? So go ahead and include them. The title, it's also important, and the time and location you will have to make a reference of. In the job description, try to include simple and short sentences, right? As much as you can. And insofar as you can, or insofar as the job allows you to do so, provide certain figures. Maybe talk about the number of people that were in the organization when you did the job that you did, or talk about what was your budget if you were fundraising, or if you were organizing a social event, or if you were doing, I don't know, some kind of activity and you have an economic figure. That is very helpful for the recruiter. And if you have them, include the achievements that you made in that specific task. So maybe you helped out solving a tricky situation by, I don't know, thinking out of the box or doing things differently. Go ahead and express it there, right? Now, the key thing about LinkedIn is never going to land you in a job. What it's going to do is going to open you the door to a job selection process, to a job interview, right? And that's what you're looking for. So do not confuse the LinkedIn profile with your resume. And that translates into do not over-explain yourself in LinkedIn. You want to say something, you want to give a taste of what type of professional profile you have, but you don't want to say everything in LinkedIn. Okay, that is very important. Okay, in terms of education, again, go back to the logos. The logos will resonate with the people and with the readers. Include the dates, and when needed, for many of you, probably this is applicable, include the word candidate before the title. That indicates the reader that you have not yet graduated from that course or that college or that university, right? And also, if you have the chance, include the fields that you have studied. And in terms of volunteering, I would very, very much encourage you, all of you, to mention your linkage with SRA. I think it's a badge of honor. I wear it as such. The organization is outstanding, and just by being chosen or being selected to be part of SRA, you guys, you know, are special and are outstanding. So don't be shy about briefly explaining what SRA is and mentioning that you're an SRA student. That is definitely a highlight in your profile. And last but not least, in terms of skills, probably most of you at this point, you should not have a lot of skills yet because you're just building them, which makes perfect sense, and there's no problem with that. But also you need to start building your own list. And the best way to do that, again, is take and give, right? So endorse others and you will see how you will get endorsements, all right? It's as simple as that. And obviously, you need to be realistic. You're starting your career, and your professional profile and your skill sets, you know, are just starting, and everybody knows that. And that's probably okay. All right. In terms of recommendations, the same trick as before. Recommend other people, and you will get recommendations. Try to keep them as short as possible, and obviously very positive. But try to go to the point. Avoid things like, I've known Jim for 5 years during college and he's a great guy. That doesn't say much, you know. You can say things like, I was surprised by Jim's organizational and communication skills during the presentation that he showed during the presentation we had in blah, blah, blah class or what have you. But be specific, try to be specific and short. All right, moving ahead. So here, maybe we can leave this for the end, but I had a kind of an exercise, a practical exercise that I wanted to offer to you, which is just go through any of your LinkedIn profiles and do a practical review of your profile and do a comment session. So maybe we can finish with this presentation, and at the end, if any of you want to volunteer, we can go through his or her LinkedIn. Now, the next point, networking in LinkedIn. This is really key because, again, you're building a network, and you will see throughout your career how the network is key and is paramount and will land you in your next job, which hopefully will be better than the previous one, right? So in terms of connections, start with friends and family. Don't be shy. We all start there, right? And continue with professionals in your field. How can you open new connections? So be really, really short. Think about the fact that 80% of these messages are going to be read in a phone, in a smartphone, through a notification. So the notification, the more it shows, the better it will be. Don't expect these notifications to be read in a laptop or in a computer. And in your short message, what you need to do or what you need to express is, first off, what do you do, right? The second issue, why do you want to connect? What is your interest connecting or reaching out to that person? And last but not least, and this is a challenging one, I need to acknowledge that, is why they should connect with you. What is the value for them to connect with you, right? Or at least, what do you think? Do some research, especially if the person you're reaching out to has a high profile. Spend some time in the social networks, can be in Twitter, can be in LinkedIn, can be anywhere, and try to find common points of interest that you can refer to, or you can even offer to that person that he or she will get from you, right? So you have in the left part of the screen, you have an example of a connection, right? So you include an email to, this is a connection that I've done to Ben Horowitz. He's actually a really, really high guy. I don't know if you guys are familiarized with him, but yeah, he's a super known guy here in the Bay Area. And this is my message to Ben. Hi, Ben. I manage a European investment firm in San Francisco. Okay, you can shorten your words as long as everybody knows them. That's going to be fine. So short message, what do I do? A European investment firm in San Francisco. Having you in my network will help me follow closer your investment interests. All right, this is why I want to connect with you, and will allow you to see the latest investment trends in Europe I share in LinkedIn, and why Ben should connect with me. So 3 sentences, 1-line sentences, super simple. There we go. We don't need any more. Whether he will accept it or not, that's a different story, but we need to get to the point, okay? Now, the tip on this one, do not be shy and maximize your student status. We've all been students. We've all started our career a few years ago, some longer than others, right? But maximize your student status, and when you reach out to people, you can say, hey, I'm a student, I'm very interested in this. And when they know that you're a student, they're going to be more generous with you because they were going to be more willing to help you out starting your career. All right, so as a small exercise, so very simple exercise that I'm suggesting for you at this point is try this at home, right? So widening your network. Research 3 professionals in your study field and ask them to connect. And remember the 3 key points. What do you do, why you want to connect, and why they should connect with you, right? And in skills and recommendations, include 3 new skills in your profile and give recommendations to at least 2 colleagues of yours. In tips, identify 3 companies, leaders in your field, search them in LinkedIn, and contact at least one employee in your field in that company. Okay, this is a small exercise that I encourage you guys to try home, so you will get familiarized with LinkedIn. You will see how you can best express yourselves in this network, and what are the results that you will get out of this reach out exercise. Now, last but not least, job searching in LinkedIn, looking for a job. It is important, and again, I encourage you that you follow the companies that you're interested in. And we all know the typical companies. We all know the Facebooks, we all know the Googles, we all know the Apples, particularly in the Bay Area, where all is about technology. I would encourage you to go a step further and do more research and identify companies that may not be that well known, and yet they're very, very interesting, right? And when you contact professionals in those companies, share with them why do you think they're interesting, and you will gain their attention for sure. All right. Research the companies and contact recruiters that publish job ads in those companies. Again, focus your network on the companies you're interested in. Building the network will land you in your next job for sure, for sure. Most of the jobs, and don't quote me on this, but I think the figure was around above 70% of the jobs that are given, they come from your own network. They won't come from a LinkedIn job post. You will find them through your network, because somebody has told you that this company is looking for somebody like you, right? So the tip, contact employees in your target companies, share your interests in those companies, in their company, and ask specific questions about working in those companies. So what is the environment? Do you guys deal a lot with, I don't know, augmented reality or artificial intelligence? Or what are the latest applications that you've seen of this technology? Or I've done this marketing trick. Have you done anything like it, or do you think that it works? Things like that. Be specific, and you will see how you add value. All right, so I didn't want to extend this for too long. Thank you so much. It's been great sharing this short presentation. I hope you guys find it useful. Needless to say, I encourage all of you to contact me in LinkedIn, knowing that you come from SRA. Of course, you immediately got me, and I'll be more than happy and very thankful to connect with you and help you out with whatever you might need. You have my LinkedIn profile there. Don't be shy. I try to answer at least once a week all my LinkedIn messages, and I'm more than glad to connect with you. You also have in that slide my personal email. Feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much for that presentation and that really, really generous offer to connect with students. Students, I really hope that you take Santiago up on that offer. He's obviously very well connected and a supporter of SRA. Also too, like, make sure you're connecting with your advisors and each other, your peers, professors, etc. Those are all people that you know, can be a part of your professional network. So there is some time for questions. So someone did ask a question. So the question is, how should you use the posting feature / what type of things should you post, is the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, what do you do to maintain connections? Should you only message if you need something?
All right, those are great questions, both of them. In terms of postings, yes, that is another key part of LinkedIn. The things that you should post in LinkedIn are all the things that you're professionally interested on. So whether they're about marketing or communications or software, or you see an article in any publication that you follow, or you see that somebody else published something, it can be about a company, or it can be, again, about the marketing, should that be your interest. Do not be shy and start posting. That will give recruiters and will give people seeing your profile a very good flavor of what type of things you're interested in, and also will allow them to see that you're active and that you share in LinkedIn, which is very, very important. The second part of the question about the connections and how to maintain them, how to maintain a healthy network and the connections, that is something that is more personal. We each have our own kind of methodology around it or way of dealing with that. Me personally, I try to reach out to people and try to give and take. Again, many times I find myself doing calling in LinkedIn and asking people to if they can help me out with a connection in the company because I'm trying to find out something about them. But I also try to offer, hey, I've seen this article and I've seen that this may be of use to you, or maybe, you know, I've seen this post and this probably should be useful to you. And you can do that actually when you do the postings by tagging people, by using the ad and then their profile name, and they will get that very personalized post that you've shared with them.
Yeah, that's great advice. Kind of just to add on to that too, like you kind of want to think of your LinkedIn as a part of your personal brand. And so like posting things, like you said, that relate back to your interests and kind of the career path that you're choosing for yourself, I think is really helpful. It just kind of paints a picture of your professional kind of personality. But yeah, that was a great question. Anyone else have any questions? Or anyone else brave enough to share their LinkedIn profile to get it looked at? Anyone? I saw someone raised a hand in the chat. Does that mean that you'd like to get yours looked at? If so, you can maybe like put your link to your LinkedIn in the chat so that we have it. Perfect. Oh, we have a volunteer. Perfect. Santiago, can you access the chat box?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect.
Let me see if I get Regeni. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Do you have? Can you post your LinkedIn profile, or maybe
yeah,
I can?
Can you send us the link to your profile so that we have it?
There we go. Perfect. All right.
Thanks, Bree.
No, I think that was the feed.
Oh, so Bree, if you go to your profile and click, if you log on to LinkedIn, it'll take you to kind of like a general feed page, and then in the left-hand corner, there should be a like your profile picture and your name and title, etc. If you click on that, then it'll take you to your profile, and then from there you can send the link. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
All right. Let's see. I think I got it. All right. Is that it?
I think so.
You guys can see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, terrific. And sorry, how should I pronounce your name? Okay, maybe you can help me out on that one.
I think she goes by Bree.
Bree, perfect. That is a very easy one. Thank you, Bree. All right, so Bree, thanks so much for volunteering for this one. Starting with the picture, with the profile picture, by now you probably know what I'm going to say. We're looking at a profile. We want to have a closer portrait picture, right? Where you can show, it looks like a great picture, this one. If you can enlarge it, and actually in LinkedIn you can do that. If you go to profile and edit picture, try enlarging this shot so we can better see your face, which is what we're looking for, right? And otherwise the picture looks very good. Here, this this is what I was referring to. You see this weird code. This is what you will see. It'll disappear whenever you go into contact info and you will personalize it. All right. So you see this weird code. You want it to say your linkedin.com/in/your name. That's pretty much what you want, right? More things. Peer advisor at Office of International Affairs at the University of California, Merced. Wow, that sounds, congratulations. Well done. Great title. Maybe you want to include there a couple of skills, but you don't have to. If you don't want to, it's good enough. You already have 76 connections. Congratulations. That's very good. Now we go down into experience. And Office of International Affairs, Peer Advisor, University of California, Merced. Perfect. We have the place. August 2009, present 8 months, Merced, California. So here, maybe what I'm missing is just one line. Again, my approach is be short, but be specific. One line describing what you're doing at the Office of International Affairs, Peer Advisor. Okay. The next one, student UC Merced. I don't know if I would include a student under the professional experience. Probably this is better if you include it here under education, Brie. Okay, so I would like to, under experience, just include your professional experience. And then Point Reyes National Seashore Association, kitchen manager, great, an assistant cook, great. Maybe here you can give a sense of how big the operations of the kitchen or where, in terms of, I don't know, maybe meals per day. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you. But if you can give, if you remember during the presentation, we said, if you can refer and give some numbers, that may be helpful to understand what type of job you were doing. That may be the case there. Then resident assistant, University of California, Merced. It's great. Now, in general, on this one, and games hostess, Six Flags, 1 year. What I would tell you is, you know, as a still non-graduate student, you under experience you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 experiences, which are a little too much. I mean, I would expect from you guys and from people with your level of experience to have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 experiences. And I don't know which ones are the best or the ones that say more about your profile, Brie. That is something that you should decide. But I would encourage you to keep them, to cut them and leave 2 or 3 experiences that tell the most about yourself. You know, obviously you're a very active person. You never stop, even during holidays or during, you know, any college breaks, which tells a lot, right? But you don't want to overstate it at this point. Then the education, University of California, Merced. Maybe here you want to include candidate, and maybe you want to specify a little bit what type of global arts studies you're doing. Include a few, you know, a few of your topics or the subjects that you're taking, that you've taken, and that you particularly appreciated. And then SRA, great. Student ambassador, great. As a student ambassador, I developed leadership skills, communication skills, and gained volunteer experience by participating in interviews, speaking, and events, volunteer. This is great. This is great. And I love it. And you can also include it maybe under education, because also obviously in SRA, you guys get an extra education. So if you want to include it in volunteer experience, great, and you're actually a volunteer, Bree, but maybe you also want to include it under education, that you're part of the SRA program. That's great. Skills and endorsement, event planning, 2, public speaking, great, leadership, it's great. This is great. And then interest, you're following UC Merced and University of California Merced. This is great. I mean, this is a little bit, maybe you want to choose one of them and include here 1 or 2 companies that you think you're starting to get interested on. And that's about it. Overall, it looks really good. Congratulations. I would include a few words. Remember what I said about skills in your profile. If we go, let me show you what I was referring to. So on the about, okay, this is what it was. And again, unluckily for me, I'm much older than you guys are, so I have more to say, but just include a few paragraphs here, 2, 3, and then on the last one, your expertise and the skills. And no, I don't expect you to have 5 lines of skills there. You don't need them, but include maybe 2 or 3 or 5. That's fine. Okay. Overall, Bree, your profile looks really good. Congratulations and good job. Keep it up. Yeah.
Thank you, Bree, for being so brave. I'm glad that went well. And hopefully you can use that feedback and update your profile, and other students can also kind of take some time to review your profile. But awesome. Great. I think that is all, unless anyone has any other questions. But yeah, so thank you again so much, Santiago. We really, really appreciate it. Such valuable information. LinkedIn is such a great resource, so hopefully everyone starts using it more. And then students, I have a post poll, so please stick around for a little bit so you can do that. But other than that, we are done. So thank you, Santiago.
All right, thank you all. And again, anything that you guys might need, even if you want me to review your LinkedIn profile on a one-on-one session, I'm more than glad to do so. Just reach out and we'll do it. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. All right, students, so I posted the post poll. If you could just take a minute to do that, that would be great. Thanks.